Hey guys, what's up? So, it has been over a year now since I've been back in the United States, and I figured maybe I'll do a video to kind of work out, what my takeaways are and what I think now and where I'm at now. So, for those of you who have followed me, as a reminder, thank you, by the way, for following my journey. And those of you that are new, let me tell you the history, the background. So in 2020, I decided to sell my house. I sold my house. It sold like that. I mean, it went on the market like Thursday night, and I had all kinds of people going through my house over the weekend, and I had offers that first night, and I wound up taking one of the first offers that came in. So it sold like that. I moved into an apartment, and I lived in an apartment for a year. And while I was in that apartment, I'm like, I've been wanting to travel, and I don't have a mortgage payment right now. Now would be the best time to do this. So, of course, I had listened to Rashida Dow and Stephanie, the Exodus Summit, year before, and I was just trying to figure out how I could do it, how I could get a job abroad and afford this, because we all need money to be able to do this, and really figuring out the money part is a lot of people's main concern. So anyway, I sold my house, I moved into an apartment. I decided I'm going to go ahead and do this travel thing. So in October, I quit my job, October of 2021. I quit my job. I sold my car. When I sold my house, I sold most of really, I gave away the majority of my stuff. It was a big 4-bedroom, 3-level house full of stuff. And I got myself down to about 4 tubs, 4 of those plastic bins. And in November, I took off. I took off to travel the world. I intended to travel for a year and then come back and then figure things out. So if you caught all that, I had no house, I had no car, I had no job. I took off. I took off to travel. At that time, my main concern with being able to do the travel was making sure that my adult daughter, she was in her early 20s, and had never been on her own, was in an apartment and in a place where she felt safe and would be okay. We found her a place before I left, and she was in there for several months before I left, which gave me some peace of mind that she would be okay. And I had 2 dogs, and I tried to rehome them, and I couldn't find anyone to take them. So my daughter, when she got her place, she took them. I told her I'd pay for everything for them. I paid the pet fees for the apartment, buy their food, pay their vet bills, and their grooming. So she doesn't have to pay for anything. She just takes care of them. So those were my 2 biggest concerns that would have prevented me from being able to do my sabbatical. And those were taken care of. So like I said, I headed out in November. I went to France around I did go to Paris, but I spent the majority of my time around the southern part of France. And then I went to Republic of Georgia. From there, I went to Antalya, Turkey, which I loved, and went to Morocco, Marrakesh, Morocco. I left there and I went to Scotland, which I had my first house sit in Scotland. So that was 3 weeks. And then after that, I decided I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. I had spent more than I had planned, And I was kind of getting tired of trying to figure out where to go, keeping up with what's in the Schengen area and what's not, and how long I can stay in certain areas. And I was just kind of like, I'm ready to call it quits. So that was in June. So that was, what was it, 8 months? 6, November, 8 months. So I was 8 months traveling, bouncing around the planet, and I came home. So if you recall, I had no home. I had no car. I had nothing. So I came back and staying with my boyfriend. And here we are a year later. I've been back for a year now. And looking back, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I mean, the way I was looking at things, I quit my job for my 55th birthday. I'll be 56 this year. And I don't know how long I have to live. So I have no regrets about what I did to, take that sabbatical. Um, I'm not as down on myself as I thought I would be, being 56 years old, and I don't have a house. I don't have a car. Um, I'm staying with my boyfriend right now. I started my own business. I'm struggling, but I do have 2 clients, and working on getting more. I know, things take time, so I'm working on that, but I don't feel I don't feel bad about myself. I don't beat myself up and say, oh, well, every once in a while I do. I call myself a scrub. Every once in a while I'm like, oh, I'm living like a scrub. But, sometimes I do wish I had more money, or, I miss the, um, what do you call it, the consistency of money coming in. It's really a false sense of security, because if they ever decided they wanted to get rid of me, they could just let me go. So it's really not true security, but I do miss having a paycheck that I can depend on coming in regularly, being a certain amount, and being able to do what I want to when I want to do it. Um, some people will call that freedom. And I mean, I'm free now. I can come and go as I please. Um, I can do what I want to do within, where I am financially now. Um, I didn't spend, all my money. I do have, like, I have money put away for retirement. I have money put away for, hopefully, when I buy a house. Um, so it's not like I didn't take all my house money and then go blow it in Europe and Asia. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to say, I have no regrets. In anybody that's thinking about doing this, and you have to find a place where you're comfortable. You might surprise yourself with the things that you do, or where your mindset goes, because this was a period of growth for me. I can't say I had any super revelations while I was traipsing around, um, but it was special, and I look forward to traveling again. Maybe not as long. I think what's best for me is to have a base and to travel when I want to. So, for instance, if I decide to spend summer in France, 3 months in France, I want to be able to do that. And then I want to come home to a place that I could call home. So I think that's what's best for me, and I think that's what I'm going to be working toward. I think that's what I'm going to be working toward here, in the near future. Um, right now, I'm thinking I'd like to find some land, uh, and get a modular house, not a tiny home. I've given up on the tiny home things. I don't think I could, staying in some of those small Airbnbs was okay for a time, but I don't want to live in one, you know. um, but a modular home, not a manufactured home, but it's a modular home. If you look those up, they're pretty cool, and um, that's what I think I'd like to do. Find some land and have a modular home built, and that will be my home. And then I'll travel. Now, where? I don't know. Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia might be the way to go, because climate wise, I mean, it's as good as any other place. And getting around, there's the big airport, busiest airport in the world. So this might be where I need to be. But again, I have no regrets. Um, I know my business will take off. If it doesn't, maybe I have to get a job. Maybe I have to get a job and work my business on the side or something. I'll do what I have to do. But at the end of the day, jobs come and go. They do. And I think as long as you focus on what you need to do, you can take care of business. I mean, think about, if you've ever been laid off. I've been laid off like a handful of times. I wasn't ready to quit my job at that time. I wasn't ready to go without getting paid, but every time I made it work. Somehow it worked out. I was able to take care of my family. I was able to pay my bills. I even had the house I was renting foreclosed on. The people that I was paying weren't paying the mortgage because the people that lived in their other houses weren't paying rent, and they were using my money to pay the rent of those other houses and let my house go into foreclosure. It was at the point where it was going to be sold on the steps of the courthouse. And I just found that out because I was looking for a house at the time. I mean, it's crazy. But I made it through that. So if you take stock of things that you've overcome in life, things that you weren't planning, you weren't expecting to have to deal with, and you were able to overcome it. I mean, you've come this far. If there's something that you really feel in your spirit you need to do or you want to do what you need to make it happen. I mean, that's kind of, how I feel at these 55 years of life. I am 55. Let me see. I was born in 67. This is 2023. I'm 54. I'm 54. I'll be 55 this year. See, I don't know. I can't keep up. I keep making myself older than I am. But anyway, yeah, things are okay. My daughter is still in her apartment. She's enjoying living alone. And she told me that she's happy that she has the dogs there because they keep her company. And they make sure she gets out of the house sometimes because she's really an introvert and she'll stay in the house. But that made me feel good because I didn't want to feel like I pawned my dogs off on her. But she's really grateful that they're there. As a matter of fact, I said something about getting a house and we move in together. And she's like, I don't want to live with you. So, before I never would have expected that. I mean, you just don't know how things are going to play out in the future. So, those of you on the fence that are thinking about it, if this is something you want to do it. There might be some of you out there that are thinking, well, I don't want to be a scrub and have to live with somebody. Do you, boo. Do what works for you. But as for me, I've said it several times already. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I did the right thing. I will cherish that sabbatical I took. I think it was great for my soul um, at the time, considering the mental space I was in when I went on that sabbatical. I'm in a much better place now, and I'm okay with where I'm at, and I just know that there are more adventures to come. You know, there's so many unknowns out there, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, there's so many times I feel like we're just on the precipice of something huge happening. I don't know if it's some climate catastrophe or aliens or somebody pushes the daggone button and blows stuff up. I feel like we're just right on the edge of something that huge happening. But I'm at peace with where I'm at, and that says a lot because a lot of people aren't. And before I took this sabbatical, I wasn't. So, yeah, I I do plan to travel again. Um, Hopefully sooner than later. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to share my experience. Um, I'm happy to help you however I can. For those of you that have followed me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to come on here, uh, commemorate my year being home, and share with you some thoughts. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. And as usual, thanks for watching. Bye.